Hello, world. Genesis Z here. Welcome to the Art of the Process, episode, I believe, 3. It's going to be a fluctuation between the narrative between my as a co-host with Dustin and having a host. Sometimes be 5 people, 3 people, and then every other one is just going to be you and me. Don't mind the turban. For all your cancel culture, my grandfather's. Never mind. I don't need to explain myself. I'm Filipino, man. You like the turban? I'm rocking it today. First of all, I want to talk about analogies about the choices we make on when we prep for a show, or even not even think about prepping for a show because we think we got to figure it out, right? We have the guitar pedal ready, we have the presets ready, we have the set list ready, we got the players ready. And here's the thing about reality: reality is such a finicky realm. So it doesn't match on paper. Reality is it's kind of like getting in the pool. You never know it's going to be sewage or hell. I'll give you an analogy, the car analogy. A lot of people, when they build cars to test it out, they have crash test dummies. They got to test out the brakes. They got to test out the engine, right? What happens if this happens? What happens if this happens? Can this last? Does this work? You know, when it goes to the 5th gear, what does it do with this kind of engine? You know, we got to weigh in all those things. You got to weigh in all those things as a musician when you prep for a show. Just because it looks good on paper doesn't mean it's always going to work out. And I think that's been one of my main problems in the past. But I don't think it was really a problem. I think subconsciously I did it on purpose, you know, because I wanted to throw myself out there like a crash test dummy. I wanted to see what's your complaints. I want to be wrong. The more I know that I'm wrong, tomorrow I'll be all right. I won't be wrong, right? As long as you're the kind of person that want to learn, right? So, it's a lot of weighing in. You know, you got to weigh out and weigh in these important matters and important things that really need to live in your performance. Important factors that need to get out of your performance. So it's a balance of weighing in and weighing out, right? What's the cost? What's the cost of bringing a last-minute bass player? What's the cost of you not being aware who you invited, and it's causing your energy to be overwhelmed? And then next thing you know, you forgot about the set list, right? You started just improvising. And it doesn't help when the crowd is really into it, because you think, oh, you're getting rewarded for going off the rails now. It's tricky, guys. So the process, I'll give you another scenario, is you could be having the greatest first set, and the second set, and then the third set, right? But unfortunately, on your third set, one of your good friends or bar friends just comes up on the mic and starts singing, and she's drunk as hell. And she's on her 5th song, and then you start making jokes on the mic. This is starting to be like a karaoke show, people. I guess I'm the new host. People are laughing, right? But inside, you're like, what the hell is going on? You're infuriated. What are you gonna do? And you tell this person, why are you singing? Are you gonna be singing the whole night? And she's telling you, you called me up here. In reality, you never did. She's drunk. What do? You know what I mean? What do you do when the patron, dedicated patron or fan that comes to your show all the time, decides to put you on the spot and saying your amp is too loud, and the louder it is, the more people are gonna walk out in front of everybody, in front of the whole place? What do? It's kind of disrespectful. So these are things you need to weigh in, weigh out, right? So what I do with those scenarios, I took that guy outside on my break and said, listen, that was kind of disrespectful. And he apologized. And I said, the next time you do that, just wait until my break and you can talk to me. I don't need to put a policy sign at every show with all these rules. Not a lot of people are going to come to my shows. It's about raising the vibration, right? When you do shows, it's about having fun. What did I do with the last minute bass player and the last minute improv? I realized I communicated to that band, to that bass player that, hey, you're so good, why don't you close out the show with dance with some disco stuff? That's the last impression that left him. So when he came in to this one venue, we did improvise, and in my head, I'm like, okay, I assumed he knows we're just gonna improvise for two songs just to warm up, and then we're gonna dedicate the rest of the show to my set list. Now, mind you, this guy's like a really super talented person, all-star kind of guy. He's not gonna stop. So what I learned from that, instead of being mad at myself, I blame myself. I should have spelled it out. Remember, the last set, even if we're improvising, I gotta stick to the paperwork. I gotta stick to the set list. I got carried away as well. And I wasn't even drinking. Check it out. That's crazy, right? And that's the dangers of things that are invisible. You know, music is invisible. Energy is invisible. Decisions are invisible. The person that's gonna come up on stage and grab your mic for 5 songs, you don't know that. You don't see it coming. That's invisible. You know, assuming is invisible. If you could see all those things, it'd be a lot easier. And on top of that, music is very immersive. It's so immersing. It's an immersion thing, right? So it's distracting you from making the right choices while you're playing live. These are the kind of things we have to consider before we step into that room. And I think the better process would be write it down and weigh in the things that really matter, that will protect you, that will make you a better player for that night or every night. All the things that's going to protect you and make you better and make you solid and make you professional and to make you be remembered. And weigh out the things, leave out the things that don't matter. But only these things can fit in one. So you have to make sure you're not putting too much. For example, when I make a set list, back in the day, I want to showcase all my songs, right? I want to cram in all my originals in one set. What happens to that is everyone's kind of just, it feels like a playlist that's going in the background. If you just do maybe 6 songs and stretch them out, it's a little more engaging. You get to engage people in that performance. Again, there's a science to everything. There's a science to the set list. There's a science to protecting your energy and putting out your energy at the right time in the right place. It's amazing coffee, babe. Thank you. Again, that's half of the conversation here. In the past, I had a band called the Mambas, and I'm not gonna name the names, but for 2.5 years, I literally got drained about this comment. Your amp's too loud. And this person is in a different genre. So when I'm in the genre, when I do Jimi Hendrix, it's an art of feedback, and vibration between the guitar and the amp. And the only way I can get those tones is to be at a certain level. And there was a conflict of interest. he didn't understand where I was coming from, and I just had to put up with that. So that was a mistake. Instead of putting up with it, I should have bought a volume pedal. And I was too lazy. Maybe not lazy. I think I was just, again, it goes back to the way in and way outs. I didn't know how to weigh in the right energy and weigh out the unnecessary energy. So my wagon was too full. I was overwhelmed. I was carrying too much on my plate at a time. My home life wasn't balanced, you know? So I didn't make those wise decisions. Everything comes from one. It's not that simple, but it is simple if you just come from the singularity of, hey, you can't make it to work if you're sick, right? So it's that simple, right? But it is simple when you think about dissecting into everything comes from the home. And if you can't have a home, you can't make wise decisions or the right decisions in your business with work, right? So, and what makes it complex is the commitment and the routing signal, the dissection of what that looks like on paper, right? It's not the application yet. It's actually what the visual, I call it mindstorming, right? So set lists, instigators, ex-bandmates at your show, hecklers, drunk people, good friends that are drunk. It adds up, right? So that's what it looks like on paper. The application is the complex part. How long are you gonna ignore that and get comfortable and say, screw it, it's rock and roll? You just said to yourself, screw your show. Moving on, what the Major League does. What's the difference between the Major League and us, right? Everyone, has a different problem, but it's the same amount of problems. More money, more problems, right? Just because they got the record label backing them and they got the roadies and expensive gear. Yes, probably 70 to 80% of those normal problems are gone because they have those assistants and they have the changing room in the back. They don't have to be heckled or attack their energy. The dressing room is about protecting your energy, right? So they have their PR, and it is your responsibility as a local artist to be your own man or your own woman. You have to be your own PR, your own roadie, your own this, your own that. This is the process. This is what it takes. Or you're gonna continue doing the same BS that happens every year. And there's no result. You're not moving up, you're not moving down. Maybe you're moving down, but there's only way is down. You're not moving up. And when you say I can't because it's too much, that's too much work. Well, where there's a will, there's a way, right? Jurassic Park, life finds a way. If you want it that bad, you're gonna make it happen. A lot of people say, I just don't have time for it. I want it so bad. That means you don't really want that bad. You're not prioritizing it. No excuses. Signing out, Genesis Z. Thank you very much. This is episode 3. Hope you enjoy. Enjoy your day. Peace.